She stood in the hallway, keys in hand, hair perfectly curled, perfume trailing behind her like a warning. "You don't have to come," she said casually. "It's just for immediate family." She didn't look at me when she said it, didn't kiss my cheek, didn't wait for a reply, just walked out. And I stood there in my own home, holding the salad I'd made for her mother, cranberry walnut, her favorite, like an idiot holding a joke no one would laugh at. An hour later, I saw the first photo, then another, and another. Her brother's Instagram, a family toast, her in the center, radiant in red. And beside her, his arm draped across the back of her chair, was her ex. They toasted to old times. I wasn't in a single frame. I didn't call, didn't text. Instead, I stared at the screen and whispered to myself, "So this is the family I'm not part of." It wasn't just the ex. It was how comfortable they all looked. Her mother leaning into him, her father laughing at his jokes, her brother tagging him like he was blood. I watched every story, every boomerang, every smiling clink of champagne. She said I was too quiet, too serious, said I didn't click with them. What she never said, what she hid, was that she never intended me to. I was never meant to fit. I was a placeholder, someone to stand beside her until the timing was right. Now the timing was right, and I had been officially excluded, on purpose. I could feel the weight of every lie pressed into those photos. The way she said business trip last month, the sudden fights over nothing, the locked phone, the scent of cologne I didn't wear on her coat. I didn't need proof to know, but I got it anyway. I started small, quiet. I downloaded every tagged photo. I checked every timestamp. She lied about more than the gathering. I accessed her shared cloud. She'd forgotten the password was still saved on my old laptop. That's when I found them, hidden in a folder named Invoices. Photos, screenshots, messages. They weren't just reconnecting. They'd never stopped. This wasn't nostalgia. It was a continuation, a seamless transition I was never supposed to notice. He never left. He was waiting. And now I was the one being asked to leave. But I didn't pack a bag, didn't yell, didn't confront. I gathered my pieces like a surgeon collecting tools. And I built one final, perfect cut. I emailed her the file. No subject line, no message. Just an attachment titled familyphoto.jpg. Inside, a collage I made, side-by-side images, her and her ex, time-stamped, dated, receipts, location data, and beneath them all, a copy of the lease agreement she co-signed with him 2 months before she ever told me to stay home. The kicker? It was my bank account that had funded the down payment. She used our joint savings to nest somewhere new. She opened it while she was still at the gathering. I know because her brother's stories suddenly went dark. Deleted, scrubbed. I didn't hear from her that night. But I didn't expect to. She knew what the silence meant. It was louder than any scream. The next morning, she came home early, keys trembling in the lock, face pale. She stepped inside like a stranger unsure of her welcome. "Can we talk?" she whispered. I was at the table, coffee in hand. "Sure," I said, without looking up. "Go ahead." She tried to spin it, said it wasn't what it looked like, said she felt confused, said I pushed her away. I let her talk. I let her crumble. Then I stood and handed her an envelope. Inside, my signed divorce response. A list of all the financial transactions I'd frozen, a termination notice for the joint account, and a printed photo of her and her ex kissing in her parents' backyard. I didn't smile, didn't flinch. "You said it was for immediate family," I said. "I finally believe you." And I walked past her, left her standing in the kitchen she used to rule, clutching the wreckage. I live somewhere else now, quieter, smaller, honest. People ask if I miss her. No, I miss who I thought she was. But that woman never existed. She was a mask, a performance, a lie I agreed to love. I don't regret staying quiet. I don't regret the silence. Because when she tried to shame me with exclusion, I didn't beg to be let in. I built my own exit. She toasted to old times. Now she drinks alone. Final line. She uninvited me from her family, so I erased her from mine.